Risk of Rain is a side-scrolling action platformer for the PC. It combines the punishing one-depth rules of a roguelike with the frenetic action of a 16-bit run-and-gun title to make for some pretty intense gameplay. You pick from up to 8 different classes of character, each with their own unique playstyle and set of abilities. Every character has one action that is able to be used repeatedly at will. The others are always on some determined cooldown timer. So the main crux of the gameplay becomes juggling your skills and using them when most appropriate. This kind of mental agility is easy for most gamers, but there will likely be a learning curve for players who are not used to the cooldown mechanic. Additionally, the ways in which classes are unlocked is slightly obtuse, and not especially easy. So while the de facto Commando class is an all-around easy-to-play-with character, there may be other classes that suit you or your partner's playstyle more. But finding that out requires a not insignificant amount of time invested into the game. Accenting your abilities is a randomized power-up system that eventually encompasses over 100 items with different and unique effects. Each of these items are accompanied with an amusing graphical icon and short comical description, and discovering them becomes just as fun as playing the game itself. The bulk of these power-ups are obtained through opening chests, accessing storage containers, or praying to shrines, each of which costs money that is earned when enemies are defeated. When you've picked up your fair share of them, and there are at least a dozen different effects going every time you squeeze the trigger, your tiny hero becomes a veritable storm of destruction. In co-op play, dying is not the end of your game. If the surviving player manages to complete the level and move to the next area, you will be resurrected, but with the power-ups and level you were at when you died. So repeated deaths by the same character can quickly leave them underpowered for the increasingly difficult areas. The flip side of this is choosing whether to give the skilled player all of the power-ups, effectively making them a protector of the other player, or to do the opposite and offset your partner's lack of skill with stat bonuses and health regen. Risk of Rain also employs a unique difficulty mechanic to ensure that you're never too far ahead of the curve. Difficulty gradually increases with the current session's playtime. Thus, the game becomes a risk versus reward scenario of spending extra time in a level to find more power-ups, or activating the level-ending boss encounter to move on to the next area. Spend too long looking for treasure, and the game will quickly become unmanageable before you've made much progress. Blaze through too quickly, and you will find yourself underpowered for the harder stages. Certain aspects of the game will scale depending on the number of players, up to a maximum of 4, but the overall difficulty, of which there are 3 modes, does not. So the addition of another player, however skilled, is welcome. The extra damage really makes a difference in keeping the ever-growing horde at bay. There's no friendly fire, but it is a little easy to get lost in the commotion, so communication is key between players. One of the downsides of playing co-op locally is that the game does not support any kind of split screen, so when either or both characters leave the boundaries of the screen, there is only an icon showing their relative position. However, it is almost never advisable to venture off alone given the game's rather high level of difficulty, so this issue rarely presents a problem. While Risk of Rain can seem overwhelming and potentially even unfair to unskilled players, its excellent art design, catchy soundtrack, wide variety of funny and unique items, playful sci-fi alien aesthetic, and chaotic explosive action is entertaining for all comers. Co-op recommendations aside, it's a fantastic throwback to old-school shooters of the past and can present a formidable challenge to even the most seasoned of players. Risk of Rain is currently available on Steam or directly from developer Hopoo Games for $10.